Portland, Oregon, an urban gem set in a crown of rustic beauty.
That's one thing about Oregon. It keeps really green here, but then you pay.
As you see, I'm prepared for the weather. If you ride your bike in Oregon, man, you got to think like a duck.
Portland is a frontier town of contrast and harmony.
Good boy.
We have a lot of history here with the Oregon Trail, you know, from the pioneering days. And I think that spirit is still alive here.
Gone are the days of the lone riders. Portland's modern heroes are team players.
Hang on, sweetie. It's your blood.
Blades turn and wheels roll as the city's paramedics start another day in the wild Northwest.
Oh, man, it's gorgeous.
My name is Chris Culbertson. I've been with AMR as a medic for 4 years now.
Got that one. Uh-oh. Chris taught me that.
My name's Amy Nia, and I've been a paramedic for about a year and a half.
Amy's, she's fun to work with.
That's kind of my neck.
Close! She'll get it one day with enough practice.
Chris is kind of like my big brother that's watching over me.
Uh-oh, right into traffic. Sorry. Just missed that car going by.
Yeah, I just missed that car.
She's still got that eyes wide. Everything is new and exciting, and that keeps the job fresh. It really does.
Come on, man.
Oh, I see it. It's right there. Shoot. Man, I thought we lost it there. We rock.
Saving lives, saving frisbees, whatever it takes, whatever the job calls for.
Chris and Amy work the night shift. A late call comes through for a car wreck.
We're going to a call on the freeway for a car over the embankment. It's a rollover, and apparently the car went over the embankment somewhere.
If I get along with my partner, then it doesn't matter what happens. You and your partner will face it together no matter what. You just take it on.
The thing is, with a rollover, pretty much anything goes. It's raining, you know, it's 3 in the morning. Kind of wait and see when we get there. I'm a night person, and I like it. I like the different aspect of the city life at night.
Twice right.
You know, nights are mellow, it's dark. Most people are in bed. The people that aren't in bed are out for some interesting reason. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Is anybody hurt? Yeah. There's one driver.
I think it's a different world.
Hey, Chris. Is that the on-ramp down there?
Yeah, that's the on-ramp.
On-ramp?
I'm going to pull it around.
The car is actually on the on-ramp from Airport Way to northbound 205. That looks pretty bad. Hi there. Is it just one person? Medic, please find your patient. Sir? Was he talking to you at all?
No, he's not in my car.
Sir?
He didn't have a seatbelt on either.
He's critical. We need to get him out. I need airway kit. I need everything, Chris.
Sam!
Another day in paradise.
My name's Jeff Struthers. I've been a paramedic for about 6 years.
I missed a spot.
My name is Tessie Adams.
Well, I'm not done yet. Give me a chance here.
I've been a paramedic for about 7.5 years.
Get all this stuff in. See, I don't have the high-tech bag. Squish it.
Working with him it's like, you know, just hanging out.
Okay, let's go.
It's 48 hours a week. That's a lot of time to be spending somebody face-to-face in the rig. You can stuff your face in a book and not talk to the person, or you can really have a good partnership.
What can I do you for?
And I think Tess and I have developed a pretty good rapport with each other.
I'm an adrenaline junkie in that when I'm off duty, I'll always kind of look when an ambulance goes by or a police car.
Good enough.
And just wonder.
Tess and Jeff get a call to a shooting.
We have a shooting victim here, conscious and breathing. Shot in the chest. The suspects have left the scene. Police have already arrived, so we can go straight in.
Medic 318 on scene. You sort of walk in the door with the question mark in your mind of, is this scoop and run or treat and transport? You can meet him at a manual later. As soon as we saw that he had a gunshot wound to his chest, immediately it was pretty much scoop and run. Medic 318, we're leaving the scene.
What's your name?
Ken.
Ken?
How old are you, Ken?
17.
Got any medical problems?
No. Look, I don't feel like talking.
Well, we need to get some history from you, okay?
Yeah.
Feeling short of breath right now?
Yeah. I need some water, though. I feel thirsty.
We're going to give you some water directly into your vein, okay? Been drinking tonight?
Yeah.
How much you been drinking?
40.
Just one?
Yeah. Chuck is saved me.
Yeah, we're gonna save you.
Hold real still.
What's his name? Do you know him? Sam? Were you in the car with him, sir?
Yeah.
Samuel Hunt's car crashed 150 feet down an embankment. He is unconscious.
Hey, you guys, he's critical. We need to get him out. He's unresponsive. So we're gonna need full C-spine and everything that we can get in here.
Sam!
Sam, can you wake up and talk to us?
Come on, man.
So, were you guys up on the freeway? Where were you at?
I don't know. I was asking.
Oh, you were okay.
I was sleeping.
Okay.
Is he conscious?
No, he's breathing. He can't hold his head up while you got him. He's got a good radial pulse. How old did you say he was?
32.
Okay. Is that better, dude?
We're very similar in the way we respond to stress.
I'm gonna grab his head from you. You okay, Chris?
We're pretty joking and stuff for the most part, but as the chaos rises, myself, I get more focused. Amy does the same thing.
Okay, you guys ready to put him on the ground? Yeah. I'm out on the board.
Okay, what do we get so far? Just all head?
I think it's all head. He was slumped over with his head down his chest when we got him.
Primary treatment on him is going to be we have to secure an airway. You know, he's got no gag reflex and therefore must have a patent airway. Otherwise, you know, anything we do is going to be to no avail.
Wait a minute. Hey, Red Drop.
Sam has a bad head injury, and he is not breathing.
Do you need help breathing up there, dude? Do you want me to bag him while you get ready?
Amy and Chris work against the clock to get air into his lungs.
Medic 320 to MRH for trauma entry.
MRH, go ahead.
We have a 32-year-old male who was an unrestrained driver in a vehicle that rolled currently off the freeway, approximately 100 feet or greater down an embankment. We found the patient unconscious, unresponsive, slumped over at the wheel. He does have obvious head injury. We're working on intubating him right now.
Just punching down.
Our ETA 2 manual is approximately 10 to 12 minutes. No, you're in the stomach. Do you want me to try, dude?
Sam's throat is full of blood, and the breathing tube won't go in.
I can see him when he's breathing. I can see him opening up, but then it won't go in. Good, let's just go.
Chris and Amy have to get him to a hospital fast.
Okay, Ken, we're gonna put an IV in your arm over here, okay?
Ken Sangwan was shot in the chest.
9 milli?
Yeah, no.
You don't know? Looks like a 9. Some oxygen, okay?
Gunshot wounds, what you're really looking at is trauma that you really can't see. You have a tiny little hole that really doesn't bleed all that much.
And he's going to be going direct to OR, though.
But inside, the damage can be massive.
Does not have an exit wound to his chest, only an entrance wound, and I'm going to go ahead and occlude it right now. Ken, let me see your arm here.
It was a drive-by shooting. We don't know if they're going to come back. It's highly unlikely, but you always can get guns going off, retaliation types of things. So you like to get them out of the environment and on the way to the hospital.
MRH Medic 318 on the 800. 17-year-old male, single DSW, probable 9 millimeter. No
We'll call your mom when you get you to the hospital, okay?
Over.
Left, right chest, just under the clavicle.
As Tess was starting IVs and doing things like that, she was just yelling stuff to me, and I was talking to the hospital.
He's complaining of increased difficulty breathing.
She didn't need to stop doing what she was doing to talk to them on the radio.
Did you get shot one time?
Yeah.
You didn't get shot in the leg?
On the phone with the manual now.
Okay.
I'm breathing very clear right now.
Cut the siren for me if you can. Take a deep breath. He's probably bleeding into his chest, but it's not actually occluding the chest at this time. It's stopping him from being able to breathe. Still with me, Ken?
Yeah.
Getting dizzy?
Yeah.
You know the guy that shot you?
Oh.
You ever seen him before?
No.
Nice and easy, Jeff.
Okay.
We're going to be pulling up to Emmanuel here in a second. We're going to be going direct to OR.
Am I going to be okay?
You're going to be just fine. We're taking care of you. We're going to take you directly to the OR in Emmanuel, and they're going to open up your chest and take that bullet out.
We're 6-4 to Emmanuel.
Jeff and Tess arrive at the trauma center with shooting victim Ken Sangwan.
Okay, Ken, we're going to take you into the hospital, okay? Just lay still.
I kept saying, you're actually doing pretty good. You're talking to me. You're breathing.
They're going to put me to sleep?
They're going to put you to sleep.
They're going to put a chest tube in. They're going to drain all of the blood that's filling up your lung right now. I could hear the blood filling up into his lung. Now, there's nothing I can do as a paramedic for that. The kid needed an OR.
Hello, this is Ken, 17-year-old male, single gunshot wound to the chest, unknown caliber, possibly a 9mm. Last blood pressure I took was 76 palpated. This is his second and third liter of fluid. He's complaining of an increase in shortness of breath. He's got no other trauma that I can find. One, two, three.
They're going to make an incision into his chest and insert a tube to actually release the blood. Because if the lung fills up with blood, you're not able to use that lung, and it'll eventually push over into the other lung, which will cause you to stop breathing altogether.
Blood pressure is 130/47.
Having a chest tube put in is an extremely excruciatingly painful procedure, but it's better than drowning in your own blood. You see these guys on the street, and they're they're all doing their tough thing.
You're gonna be all right. We're gonna take good care of you.
When it comes right down to it, you put them in this environment, and you can see that they really are still kids. He's still scared, and he still wants his mom, and he still wants his handheld.
There's definitely blood, but there's definitely not a hole. So, didn't go through that shirt, but we'll hold that for the police because they might want it.
If he had stayed home, or if he had not been found, say for half hour, 40 minutes, he would have died from that.
Ken's lucky. He'll be okay.
At 320, we're just leaving right now, so our ETA is about 10 minutes. We're having airway problems. He's got massive blood in his airway. He's got a huge scalp laceration on the left side. I do not have a blood pressure for you yet. I'm going to work on getting his airway secure, and I'll get you a blood pressure.
Car crash victim Sam Hunt is unconscious with a massive head injury. Amy is worried he may choke on his own vomit. She must secure a breathing tube.
So we'll bag him, and I'll try to combi tube him. And people that have had any kind of facial trauma or neck trauma, that just changes everything, and you're just shooting for anything you can. You're hoping that you can get an airway on him. Okay, do you want to try bagging him and seeing if when you start out and you're new, everything's scary and everything's, am I doing this right? And I still think that a lot, but I feel comfortable enough where I can make a decision, or if I need help, I can ask, which is really important. We did just the blue one on the combi tube, right? And then listen. You want to just try listening real quick? It's okay, bloody. That's fine. It's already all bloody. Don't worry about it.
Amy has managed to stabilize Sam. He is breathing.
Well, it sure seemed to ventilate better, I know.
It's not too resistant right now. He's doing it. Okay. I think we're good.
Stick with that.
Okay, if you want a bag, I'll try to get it tied down. You know what you need to do, and you do it. ABC, airway, we got that taken care of. Breathing, so we're taking care of that, and circulation. If you don't get your A, you don't go on.
Maybe one for like a trauma dress on the back of his head.
It's just bleeding like out, huh?
How are we doing, Aaron?
He's breathing. He's, let's go. Hi. This is a 32-year-old male. He was an unrestrained driver in a vehicle that rolled off by 205 down probably 150 feet embankment. It was upright. He was found in the driver's seat, unconscious, unresponsive, slumped over. He's had a pulse of about 90, 80 the whole time. Blood pressure was 110.
The trauma team at Emmanuel will do all they can, but for Sam, it will be touch and go.
Just do the best you can and roll with it, man.
I almost equate it to kind of the battle buddy thing, in the military.
Moving his right lower extremity yourself.
You do go through a lot of huge emotional swings. You go through a lot of extremes. You find that you really rely on your partner in a lot of ways. Not just during the call, but just, after the calls, the aftermath, so to speak.
It's a big letdown. You're just pumped for the last, half hour, 45 minutes. You're amped. You're just doing all you can. And you get here, and it's just kind of, you're just drained. It's exhausting. It's the adrenaline rush, and then you just have your downtime. And good thing we're going home, because we're getting that sleep now.
Sam was in critical care for a month before he made a full recovery.
You able to continue the call?
320, just checking to see if you have an opportunity for update.
318 medical research. We'll let that discussion.
All right, go ahead. Flight 1, departure rate from Hillsborough, 85 degrees.
It hasn't been washed for a couple weeks.
We'll go ahead. We'll do that. My name is Paul Farr, and I'm a flight nurse with Life Flight, and I've been with the program for a little over 2 years.
A fireman with a hose, it could be a dangerous thing. They squirt everything.
I did some work in the military, flying around in helicopters just looking for people and picking people up off the mountains, and I got interested from there. This kind of serves a dual role for us. Number one, it gets our helicopter clean, but probably one of the bigger things is it's a safety factor also. So because when you come out and look at it, if you see any type of little oil leaks, a little feathering on the sides, it might show that there might be a little leak or some fluid or something going on. I like the responsibility, autonomy that we have. And that's where I think the blend of the paramedic and the flight nurse really come together very well. We just got on standby for an MVA up at Mount Hood. So it's a little bit of a flight time involved. So we're just going to come out here and get everything all set up and get our ship in order just in case we get deactivate. So we'll be ready to go.
477, Life Flight 1.
Life Flight 1, this is Life Flight 1.
Life Flight 1, you're being activated for FireCom. MVA, head on. Hillsborough Highway at Farmington Road.
Coming right, all clear. There's a lot of stress. There's stress every time you go out on a call. You know, you have a partner that you bounce things off, questions off of, and you work together really closely, but there is always a lot of stress involved in this.
Life Flight 1, departure break crossing. Life Flight 1 on the go, 3 points. Okay, your destination hospital is going to be OHSU. From Hills Road, 85 degrees for 51.73 miles. And as of yet, they have no medical information to give.
This is Life Flight 1. You're coming in weak, but readable. We are about 5 minutes out. The part that really gets going is right when you're circling over the scene. You look down and you see the cars that are involved, or it's all the noises and everything that you have going on. All the stimulus is coming in. So you always have to be ready and be anticipating, be one step ahead. Medic A1, this is Life Flight 1. How do you read?
Female driver of a head-on collision. She is conscious. You do have full spinal mobilized. Her vital signs: last blood pressure 122/70.
Copy that.
Flight nurse Paul Farr lands at the scene of a head-on collision on Mount Hood.
I like the team approach when we all go out there. It's 3 people that are in that helicopter, and all of you count on each other. Cap, let's have somebody watch that tail. Hey guys, how we doing? Which car was she in? This one? Passenger restraint? Okay. Hello. Can you open your eyes for me? Hi. What's your name? Charlotte. Charlotte, my name's Paul. Okay. I'm a flight nurse. I'm going to take you back to Portland, okay? You gentlemen are going to get you all fixed up here, and then we're going to go.
Charlotte Miller and her husband were on their way home from a vacation when he lost control of the car. Charlotte's legs are badly crushed.
Where are you hurting beside your leg, hon? That's it? Can you feel her holding your leg? Good. Wiggle your toes on your lap. Perfect. Now, Charlotte, take a big, deep breath. It hurts. Where's it hurt? In your chest? Who was she traveling? Was she traveling with anybody else?
Her husband, he's going into the trauma system too. She was a passenger. It took at least a half an hour to get her extricated.
Okay. Charlotte, it's going to take us about 18 minutes to get to Portland, okay? I want you to breathe nice and easy. You're doing okay. We're going to get you there. We're going to do everything we can, okay? Okay. You're going to be all right. Just hang in there. She's dim on this right side, right up here. So if she does anything, Rick, that's where we're going to go first, okay? I'm going back to you, okay? Let's go. She's got head, chest, abdomen, pelvis, and right femurs open. So we'll go ahead and try to stabilize that stuff in and out. Give her a little more fluid. Make sure she's breathing okay. She's stable? Not yet.
Charlotte is badly injured. Paul will have to work hard to keep her stable on the way to the hospital.
A double chocolate donut. We only get like once a rotation.
Yeah, once a rotation.
Sometimes twice if it's a stressful week or something. You didn't get one.
No, I didn't.
Look at that.
Chris and Amy get a call to a well-known crack house.
We're going on an overdose. This is going to be on a male. They didn't give us an age. We cleared. They're saying it's coming in as a heroin overdose, so...
So yes.
Let's see. Thanks for 20 cal.
copy? What's the copy?
Police surveillance.
Oh, okay.
You know, when I was little, I used to watch Emergency, and you know, as I grew up, they were always my heroes, and I didn't realize, you know, deep down that's what I wanted to do until I got out of high school and people started saying, you know, you need to start focusing what you want to do, and it just was really natural to say, hey, I want to do this, and I've never had doubts or second thoughts about it at all.
Well, here's a scenario. The guy's up there on the 3rd floor, just inside that fire escape.
Cool.
He's conscious. He's not conscious, but he's breathing.
You got the access right there? Is it safe?
Not safe.
It should be pretty much clear to the other users. They don't want to be around with all of us there. I rolled up on the scene and kind of had to chuckle because it's, you know, kind of a classic crack house look going on when we got there. And you know, when you pull up these kinds of things, you're like, oh man, here we go.
Okay, get the bag out.
Is he aspirating?
Daniel Schlintz has overdosed on heroin. He's not breathing.
He's tachycardic.
Yeah, he was.
You got two Narcan down already? Okay, you want to throw me a tourniquet?
This guy is way down. You don't know when they used, knows how long he's been unconscious like that.
Who called this in? Do we know?
The guy was up there with him, I think.
Was he shooting up with him too, or?
It was me that called him on.
Okay.
Chris gives Daniel a shot of Narcan to counteract the heroin.
Well, we check his pupils initially.
Amy's been around long enough that she knows how to work and kind of watch over her shoulder. Even though we're surrounded by cops in there, those kind of situations are perfect examples of where you totally rely on your partner.
There's a IV strap right there.
She's the voice that I'm going to hear first out of a crowd. I'm totally focused on my patient. I'm relying on her 100% to alert me. You know, hey, Chris. You know, and the second she calls my name, boom, I'm going to look up.
Is this him? Let's take a look.
Got a tattoo across his forehead on there.
This is an old picture. Yeah, it's probably him.
Well, he's just typical heroin overdose. A lot of times, though, they'll wake right up, but he wasn't breathing when we got up there, so bagged him, and then they gave him 2 Narcan IM, and then we got the line going and gave him 2 more IV, and he's totally breathing fine on his own. He's still just not conscious at all. So the fun part's going to be getting him down.
He's waking up.
Is he going to be able to walk down, you think?
Let's give him a couple minutes to walk rather than trying to do this.
Car crash victim Charlotte Miller has multiple injuries. Paul has to keep a close eye on her.
We're going to get you all hooked up here. Just check a few things, okay? We're doing all right. Just hang in there. We're right here. Is that a little better for you? Breathing a little easier now? The patient is entrusting their life, so to speak, to me and my partner and the pilot to get them back there safely, and we'll do that.
You guys are about 10 minutes out.
And we take that real seriously. I mean, that's our mission, and that's what we're going to accomplish 100%.
Going okay? Yeah, we're in. Life flight 1 is inbound to approximately a 4 to 5 minute ETA. We have on board a civilian female involved in a head-on MVA.
The key to the helicopter is rapid air transport to a facility.
How you doing? Almost there.
We always hear about the golden hour, and that's a critical thing. The lady was injured up at Mount Hood. That's a good hour and 20, 30 minutes from the Portland area. That's a long ride in an ambulance, where it took us 18 minutes. There's going to be a lot of people down here, and they're going to be asking a lot of questions, okay? Just kind of take it easy and go with the flow there. Try and get you feeling better here pretty soon, all right? In pretty good health? Excellent. Hello, this is Charlotte Miller, 60-year-old involved in an MVA head-on. She was the passenger, restrained. Reported open right femur. The SATs have been 99 to 100% for us. Been awake and alert the whole time.
Do we have a first pressure here?
She did drop her pressure, had a little bit of low pressure there for a while, but Rick and I decided to give her a little fluid challenge, in which she came right up with that. So all in all, it went real well, and good flight. Got her here.
Okay, let's try to stand you up here, dude.
Daniel Schlintz overdosed on heroin. A shot of Narcan has brought him around.
Okay, Daniel, let's pull this off here for the walk downstairs.
Anyone that works in, an urban area,
We'll bring your stuff.
sees a lot of these kinds of things, you know. I mean, and this particular guy was a transient. He gave us a story. He was on his way to Alaska. All of his worldly possessions he had with him up in that room, you know. Now, yeah, okay, so he's a transient, and so he's, he has an addiction, but Yeah, he's still a person.
Are we taking all that? I'm gonna put them back with him.
Amy collects Daniel's stuff, but something is missing.
Your wallet was in your back pocket, wasn't it?
Somebody pulled it out, took it out. It was the same pocket.
Can you check his jacket, see if they slipped it back in there?
Not everyone may feel this way, but at least myself and I think Amy's the same way. You know, I feel responsible now.
I'll go check and grab anything that's upstairs, okay?
Because we had that stuff on scene, and now it's not there.
I don't want to leave it behind.
I know I'd want my wallet.
The only other option is to ask that fire guy, because I saw him with it in his hands.
Above and beyond the call of duty. There's nothing up here.
Okay, we gotta go to the station and get his wallet.
Dan's wallet is at the fire station. Chris and Amy will stop to pick it up.
So you're on your way to Alaska? What's with all the arrows?
That's chaos.
That's chaos?
I always try to, in the short time we have with them, kind of see where they're at. And, you know, if I can say something that will possibly, you know, give them any kind of motivation.
Basically, the best thing would be is to try to get clean again.
The fact that I had to be there at a time where he may be dying is hopefully enough to be the final straw to get him to seek help.
Have you ever tried a treatment program?
I want to find it within my will to not do it.
Unfortunately, your will broke down today.
Yeah.
Had we not been there, that'd have been your last time, man. You know, next time you may not be with someone that cares enough about you to make a call.
Here's your wallet. Thanks.
Got your wallet, dude? Is that you?
There's nothing.
You know, I figured you must have had some kind of hard life to turn to drugs in the street, and you know, it makes you grateful for what you have and your family and the life that you live.
So this is Daniel.
So you guys have my pocket knife?
We have everything.
Okay.
We gave him 2 Narcan IM. He chose to come and get evaluated instead of being arrested for criminal trespass. Good decision.
And all that stuff, that's all his stuff, and although it's dirty and wet and whatever, I would never win. Our ambulance cleans up and we clean up, and he'll have his stuff with him, so that's what's important to him.
Well, that's it. He's in their hands now.
Your dad? Okay.
Try to spend as much time as we can out here.
I think we go this way.
You think, huh?
Yeah.
I have to admit there are times when this job, it really makes you thankful for what you got. So, you know, sometimes there are bad calls when you just go in and you give your kids a hug when you get home.
Dad, your turn.
It's your turn, buddy. How you doing, Matt? For every little thing they do, you know, I might have been on a call very similar to that. So there's 5 or 6 things I'm thinking consequences. Wait till I get down there. They might be slippery. You know, if I let them get too close to the edge of the water, are they going to slip in? Are they going to drown? How am I going to get? Are they going to hit a rock? Are they going to fall and hit their head? They're just looking at the water. Oh, slippery. All right, look around the area. Make sure you got everything. You let them go right away because you don't want them to be afraid.
Look at this cool rock I found.
But then at the same time, you just want to protect them. All right, gentlemen, let's go.
That was a good hike.
It was a good hike, wasn't it?
We have a schedule where we work 4 days on and then 4 days off. So every week you have a mini vacation. You have a 4-day weekend.
Start. I come out here twice a day. Take care of my babies.
I'm what you'd say is a freedom freak. I like the time off, and that allows me to do my real passion, which is rock climbing.
What we can do is we can get out to like Cascade Lodge and get out of the car and see if it's windy.
We're going to exercise him a little bit in a minute. My impression of Oregon and Oregonians is we're pretty laid back, and not a whole hell of a lot phases us.
Off we go, team.
I enjoy the ability to travel when I want to. I enjoy the ability to make decisions as I see fit.
That's where we'll be going. Just up there.
When I run a bad call, when I'm having a bad day, I go see my horses.
If he could be my occupation, I would do it in a heartbeat.
They give me something that nothing else in this world does. They give me peace.
Good boy.
Just by being around them, I can just kind of decompress.
All this stuff's got to go with me. This is what keeps me from hitting the ground if I fall. My mom likes me to use it. Have fun. Yeah, whatever.
I will not retire and regret how I lived.
Hands are numb, that's for sure.
Because you see that too much, especially in this job. You see people that are 45 who were otherwise relatively healthy and then develop a debilitating illness or injury. You know, I mean, this job really forces into your field of vision that life is precarious. And so if you don't do the things that are important to you, you know, you might be stuck holding the bag when the time comes. And I don't want to do that.
Now it's time to go to work.
Ooh, man, that was windy.
The transformation from horsewoman to paramedic commences now.
What is it, Friday?
Hey, you know, the t-shirt says it all.
It's 10 blocks this way, that way. I know where we're going.
Jeff and Tess get a call to a woman with flu-like symptoms.
2 blocks south of Willamette?
We were dispatched on a sick person.
Medic 318 on scene as well.
And the call came in, we're thinking, you know, what's the deal here? Person flu-like symptoms for 3 or 4 days. So we kind of weren't expecting a whole lot when we walked into this call. What's going on tonight, do you know?
She's been sick all week. The doctor said she has some kind of a virus.
You hurt anywhere? You hurt everywhere. This happens quite frequently. You're dispatched to a call and it turns out to be something entirely different.
Are you short of breath? You having a hard time breathing?
Amiko Hansen's symptoms are confusing. She is barely breathing, yet still able to speak to Tess.
Do you have any medical problems?
When I touched her, she was very cool and clammy.
I don't have a radio over here.
I couldn't find a radial pulse on her, so I immediately went to get blood pressure to see exactly how low it was, and I couldn't hear anything.
I'm not getting a pressure.
Yeah, she's in a rate of about 20. With that heart rate, we knew that she didn't have a lot of time. You just want to pace her right now? She doesn't have a... Let's just go ahead and pace her. She's going to know it.
I can't get a pressure. I heard it all the way down. I need a tourniquet.
She's stopped me. So let's go get a BBM.
BBM out.
Amiko Hansen has more than the flu. Her heart isn't beating fast enough, so Jeff and Tess have to shock her.
She's got enough.
Let's just get her paced and then we'll get her moved. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and pace her.
Amiko Hansen's heart is shutting down. Jeff and Tess will have to shock it into a stronger rhythm.
You send somebody out to get her back for her?
We went from, you know, drive to overdrive to now we're in, you know, like warp speed here. This woman is going to die unless we intervene.
Are those pacer spikes on? I mean, you got your paddle on?
My paddle's on, yes.
Okay, everybody ready? We're going to start pacing.
Okay, we're helping you breathe.
Going up by 20s.
Needle?
Okay, we're getting capture at a rate of 80.
Jeff and Tess are helping Amiko's heart to beat with an external pacemaker.
She's got really poor access.
She needs heart medication desperately.
She's just
shut down. Getting her heart rate up was the most imperative thing right off the bat. That was going to kill her right then and there if something wasn't done.
And what do we got her rate at now? 80?
We got her at a rate of 80. And once we get her in a much better position starting this line,
it'll be a lot easier.
So let's get her on back where the IVs are not happening. Let's get her in a better position. You guys just lost the lead.
Let's get her on the board.
And now the lead's off, we're still showing a rate of 20.
There.
Okay, we're going back to pacing again.
I think we just need to get going.
Okay. To be a paramedic, I think you have to have a very intrinsic gut level of common sense. It's that ability to say what is the most reasonable, timely thing that we can do to rectify this crisis that we're presented with when the person calls 911. When you get a line, it's probably going to work. Did you know she's on a huge amount of beta blockers?
She is.
Yeah, so what she's probably, because of the flu, she hasn't been metabolizing it at all.
Across town, Chris and Amy get another call.
This is an automobile versus a pedestrian at a pretty busy intersection. These are either really bad or they're not much of anything. We'll see.
I think you have to be kind of that A-type personality, you know, the person that looks at a challenge and says, you know, we're going to accept this challenge and we're going to overcome it no matter what it is.
What's the word, guys? Yeah, let's get some C-spine.
Richard Johnson was struck by a car at a busy intersection.
So who's the driver? Hey, we're going to put a call. Come over here. Which way were you going?
I was going this way.
Okay, you were going with traffic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you weren't turning. Okay.
Fire.
I hit by a car here, pal.
No, he didn't.
What's your name?
Richard Red.
Richard? Richard, where are you hurting right now?
Nowhere.
Nowhere?
This never really gets dull. There's never really a routine patient. You know, there can be, but they can surprise you.
Where are you hurting, Richard?
Nowhere.
Okay, you're not being honest with me. I can see you're cringing in pain. Where are you hurting?
So what? One car ran me over. I'm all right. I'm not hurting.
I'm trying to help you here.
I know you are.
Okay, there's gonna be a big poke here.
Here comes the coroner.
Got a line.
Jeff and Tess race heart patient Amiko Hansen to the hospital.
Good, just give her some fluid and then pop in some atropine. We have a line.
Okay.
Giving her atropine.
There's so many reasons why she could be in this particular problem.
She's still got a radial.
And I need to fix the problem, then figure out maybe, if I can, why, get her to the hospital where the doctors do the detective work.
We're always very good at making spaghetti out of all of our equipment, aren't we?
Yes.
Have you been vomiting a lot? Yeah, you've had the flu? Okay, have you been taking your medicines like you're supposed to? Have you been vomiting them up? Okay, how many days have you been vomiting? A week, maybe more, okay.
Probably dehydrated.
Okay, we're pulling in, everybody.
Great.
Still there? Okay. 67-year-old female was found by a friend at home. She was very lethargic. She had a rate of 20, but she was still able to talk to us.
A simple case of the flu prevented Amiko from absorbing her heart medication.
1, 2, 3. If we had just put her on the stretcher and done nothing for her, she probably would have gone into cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital. So in that respect, we certainly saved her life.
It's like playing an angel for the day, kind of swooping in and doing what the public perceives as a little magic and bringing somebody back.
Okay, great. Nice work.
Once Amiko is fitted with a pacemaker, she'll be fine.
Richard's not being very cooperative. How much have you had to drink?
Nothing.
Let me have this hand here. I'm gonna wrap this up, okay?
What's wrong with it?
It's bleeding, and I don't want to get it all over me. Do you remember what happened?
Some car ran my over.
Okay. Remember what you were doing when the car ran you over?
Trying to get to the other side of the street.
Okay.
I try to keep in the front of my mind that, you know, each one of these patients is someone's brother, someone's sister, mother, father, and I try to treat them with the same kind of compassion, sometimes sternness, that I would my own family.
The hell's Angel? They're ready to stop this town.
He's a little intoxicated, but he's obviously got a potential head injury. Okay, Richard, keep your arms right where they're at. We're gonna get you out of the ambulance now, okay? So at this point, it's gonna be kind of a whatever we can find and see and touch, and until he decides to talk to us. Hello, this is Richard. Pedestrian struck to the right side by an auto about 30-35 miles per hour, denying any pain while he was cringing the whole time. We've got an abrasion, some bleeding to the head, and we've also got some abrasions and bleeding to the lower extremities. He later on described some pain from his knees down in both right and left legs. Blood pressure had was 132 by palp.
Remember the accident at all?
Yeah.
There's this camaraderie that it's hard to explain. Grazie.
You're welcome.
Even though we're broken up into sets of two all over the county, we're one big gang.
Have a good shift.
Here we go. And we're concerned about each other.
Wi-Fi base, Wi-Fi 1. Come on down for 5420. Wi-Fi 1.
Because, you know, we are essentially like family.
Copy Wi-Fi 1 at 1710.